Hey, it's your tutor Courtney Waterman, lover of anime, manga, and math. And this is another session of Tutor Me Senpai. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Courtney, and this is another session of Tutor Me Senpai. Today we're going to be doing some 6th grade multiplication, but we're going to be doing it the Common Core way. If you are familiar with Common Core, then this will just be practice. If you have seen it before, but you're not sure quite how to do it, hopefully this video helps you. Without further ado, let us jump right in. So our first question today is going to be a little bit simpler, and we're going to go to something a little bit more complicated as the video goes on. But let us start with some baby steps first. So we're going to be looking at the very first question. It says 7 times 94. Okay? So 7 times 94 is going to be our first question. So we have 7 times 94. Now, before we begin, I want to remind everybody, whenever we're doing math, make sure you have your pencil and your paper. Scratch paper will allow you to do all your messy work away from your homework so that when you turn in your homework, it looks great. Like you had no mistakes ever. I will be using the whiteboard, so you follow along on your loose leaf or any other paper you may have. Try not to write in pen because it gets a lot harder to erase mistakes. But once again, if you're doing all of this on your scratch paper, it is fine. I just recommend pencil. So, 7 times 94. What Common Core would have you do first is identify the places of each number. What I mean by that is we have the ones place of each number. We have the tens place of each number. We have the hundreds place of each number, and so forth. So for example, if you had a number that was 13, this would be the ones place, and this would be the tens place. Okay? So you have a number like 13, the 3 is going to be the ones place, and the 1 is the tens place. Okay? Let's say we have a little bit bigger number. Let's say we have 37. 7 is going to be the ones place. The 3 of 37 is going to be the tens place. Okay? And let's say you have a slightly bigger number. Let's say you have 489. The 9 is going to be the ones place. The 8 is going to be in the tens place. And the 4 is going to be in the hundreds place. So before you begin your Common Core multiplication, you have to understand that each placement in the number that you're looking at has a place that you have to take note of. Whether it be the ones place, the tens place, the hundreds place, or something bigger. Okay? So when you look at this, we take 7, and 7, do we have a hundreds place? Do we have a hundreds? No. 7 is too small for a hundreds. Do we have a tens place? No. 7 is too small for a tens. So what are we left with? The ones place. Ones place. Perfect. So we know our 7, we're going to put this in the corner right now, has a ones place, and we'll come back to that. Okay? So 7, too small for hundreds, too small for tens, so we have a ones. All right. Now, Let's look at 94. Does 94 have a hundredths place? No. Once again, it's too small. Too small. Does it have a tens place? Yes. Tens place is going to be the 9. Does it have a ones place? Yes. That is going to be the 4. Perfect. So we identified that 94 has both a tens place and a ones place. So how do we write that? Well, when you write 10, you write it like this, right? You have the 1 here and you have this wonderful 0 here. Well, anything in the tens place is going to inherit, or is going to take along with it this 0. We say that this 9 from the tens place is 9D, because we have 9 tens. Right? So if you were to write 10 plus 10 plus 10 all the way until you had 9 of them, you would get 90. So a 9 in the tens place means we have 9 tens. Therefore, we have 90. Okay? So that's how we represent for Common Core. We break this down into its tens and ones. Because 9 is in the tens place, we have 9 tens. The same thing happens for the ones, right? Whenever you have 1, it looks like that. Well, this says we have 4 ones. So we have 4 ones. When you add those up, you get 4. So 9 in the tens place means you have 10 nines. 4 in the ones place means you have 4 ones. So we're going to have 90 up here in the tens and 4 in the ones. So now we've broken down our two numbers. So here we go. We make our Common Core box. Right? This is going to be the tens box. This is going to be the ones box. Likewise for this. This is going to be the tens box. And this is going to be the ones box. All right? So for 94, what part of the 94 is in the tens box? Well, we have it here. The 90 part. We have 9 tens. What part of the 94 is going to be in the ones box? We have that right here. We have the 4. And if you were to add these together, you see you get 94 still. So we're good. Now let's look at the 7. What part of the 7 is going to be in the tens? Well, we said we didn't have a tens, right? So let's put a 0 here, because we don't have anything there. What part of the 7 is going to be in the ones box? That's going to be the entire 7. Perfect. All right, so let's erase this, because we have everything here. If you have space on your paper, you don't have to erase. But I'm running out of space a little bit here, so I'm going to clear up a little bit of space. So now we've broken down how we got from here to here. Once again, you have to know your positions, and then you can break them out as such. The next step is going to be multiplying. Now, this might be a little harder to multiply than this. The point of the Common Core multiplication is to break it down into smaller or easier numbers to multiply. If you can break it down into a smaller number, then you can kind of go off of memory. If you can break it down into an easier number, then you just have an easier time multiplying it. So let us now multiply. And how you go about this is you take this times this and you put it here. Okay? So this times this, what is 0 times 90? Well, 0 times anything is going to give you a big fat 0. Next, you do this times this. This times this. So you see, we're going to take the top row here, and we're going to multiply it by these two numbers. This top row here multiplied by these two numbers. Right? One at a time. 0 times anything is going to be 0. So you got 0 for the tops. Now we're going to do the same thing for this bottom number. Multiply 7 times 90. It's going to go here. And then we're going to multiply 7 times 4. And it's going to go here. So what's 7 times 90? Like I said, this is supposed to be a little bit easier. But if that's even too difficult, don't worry. We'll break it down. Let's say we hid that 0. So now it looks like 9, right? We hide the 0. Do you know what 7 times 9 is? Great job. All right. 7 times 9 is 63. So what do we do with this 0? We hid the 0, but we can't ignore it because 7 times 90 is not the same as 7 times 9. So we just bring it back. 7 times 9 was 63. 7 times 90 just has an extra 0 at the end. So we just do the 0 like that. Okay? Great. So now we've done 7 times 90. Now look at 7 times 4. What's 7 times 4? Perfect. So now we've filled in our box. We've done 0 times 90 for this first box, 0 times 4 for the second box, 7 times 90 for this third box, and then 7 times 4 for this fourth box. We filled in our blocks. Now what do we do with that? We have this multiplication we're supposed to be doing here. We drew all this out, but how do we get our answer? Well, we're going to add everything here. And let's cross them out as we add them. So we're going to add 0. So 0 plus 0 plus 6, 30 plus 28. Now 0 plus 0 is just going to be 0. 0 plus anything is going to be whatever you're adding it to, right? So we can pretty much ignore these zeros. This is what we're trying to find here. So 630 plus 28. You have the 8, you have the 5, and you bring down the 6. So you are looking at 658. 658. So Common Core Math, the multiplication version, has showed us that if we multiply 7 times 94, the answer is going to be 658. If any of that confused you, don't worry. We're going to have another question to kind of reinforce this. We're going to go a little bit faster, but not too fast to lose anybody. All right. So let's look at a second question. The second question reads 3 times 93. 3 times 93. So we're going to start this the same way. We're going to have 3 times 93. Okay? So follow along on your piece of paper, and we're going to identify our positions. Now, once again, we look at this first one. Does 3 have a hundredth place? No, it's too small. Does 3 have a tens place? No, it's still too small. Does 3 have a ones place? Yes. So we know that 3 has a ones place. 93. Does this have a hundreds place? No, it's too small. Does this have a tens place? Yes, the 9 is in a tens place. And what did we say last time? Whenever you have a 9 in the tens place, that means you have 9 tens, right? All the way up to 9 tens. And when you add up 9 tens, what do you get? You get 90. Correct. So we're going to write it down the same way. 90. Going to be in the tens. So 93, we know it has a tens. We're going to write down the 90 the same way. How about a ones? Does it have a ones place? Yes. This 3 is in the ones. We have 3 ones. Perfect. So now let's draw our box. And remember, this is the tens. This is the ones box. This is the tens. And this is the ones box, right? So let's start up here. This 93, does it have a tens? Yes, we found it here. So then 90 goes here. Does it have a ones? Yes. That goes here. And remember, if you add these two together, you get 93. So we're looking good. How about this 3? Does it have a tens? No. It's too small. So we're going to put 0 here. Does it have a ones? Yes. We wrote it here. So we're going to put that here. And if you add these two together, what's 0 plus 3? You get 3. So now let's multiply once again. And like we said last time, 0 times anything, it's going to be 0. So 0 times 90, big fat 0. 0 times 3, big fat 0. So we're now taking care of the top. Let's take care of the bottom. 3 times 90. Once again, if you're having a hard time, let's block out that 0. Now what's 3 times 9? 3 times 9 will be a little bit easier to do, right? 3 times 9 is going to be 27. And now we bring back our 0 and tack it on to the end. So now we have 3 times 90 is 270. How about 3 times 3? Well, 3 times 3, simply 9. So we have 3 times 93, and we've broken it up into our box, the 93 and the 3 on this side. We have everything filled in. What's left to do? Now we have to add everything we see. 0, and we'll cross them out as we do it. 0 plus 0 plus 270 plus 9. So 0 plus 0 plus 270, that's just 270. So let's just focus on this part right here. 270 plus 9. What's 270 plus 9? Well, 279. Here we go. Common Core multiplication has shown us that 3 times 93 is 279. So let's jump into one more question. This one is going to be a little bit more difficult, but it's going to be using the same exact stuff that we were just practicing. So if you're following along, you should be able to do it. If you're having any questions whatsoever, I want you to write down your questions. And at the end of the video, I want you to write your question in the comment, and I will read them and I will get back to you. So don't get discouraged. If you have any questions, if you're still confused, don't get discouraged. So the next question is going to look a little bit different. It's going to look a little intimidating, but we can do it. We can do it. I know we can. So we're going to start with the first question. If you look here, we have 157 multiplied by 93. Wow. 157 multiplied by 93. So let's write that out. 157 times 93. Now it seems like we jumped quite a bit, right? But I don't want you to be scared. One thing about math is that once you have your building blocks, once you know how to start from the bottom, you can slowly build and build and build, and you can take bigger jumps next time. If you have a good, strong understanding of how to do the small things, you can just add on to that knowledge and get a little bit better at tackling a little bit more difficult questions. So we're going to do this the same exact way. I'll walk us through step by step. Let's look at this 157. 157. Does it have a hundreds place? So hundreds. Yes, it actually does. Our first question that has a hundreds place, right? How many hundreds do we have? We just have one, right? We just have 100s. It's a 1 here. In the hundreds place lets us know we have 100. How about tens? Does it have a tens place? Yes. That 5 lets us know we have 5 tens. So remember, 5 tens, if you add up 5 tens, 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, you get 50. 5 tens gives you 50. Does it have a ones? Ones place? Yes. The 7. So you can break up 157 into its hundreds place, its tens place, and its ones place. And you notice, if you add up all of these, you get this number back. All right? So let's write this on the side. So we have 100 in the hundreds. We have tens. The tens place. We got the ones place. Right? So we have the hundreds in the 100 place. We have the 50 in the tens place. And we have the 7 in the ones place. So let's look at 93. So 93. This looks very familiar, right? We just did this. So, do we have anything in the hundreds place? No. But we do have something in the tens place. We have 9 tens, so we have 90 in the tens place. So we can write that here, 90. And we have 3 in the ones place. 3 in the ones place. So we write that here. All right. Now, this is where things get a little bit different. Not too different, but just a little bit different. We're going to have to draw a slightly bigger box. Because remember, our old box, it only had enough space for a tens and a ones, right? Tens place, ones place, ones place. But now we have this 100. So we're going to make a slightly bigger box to make sure we have enough space for our 100. All right? So it's going to be the 100. This is going to be the tens. This is going to be the ones. It's going to be the 100. tens, ones. And let's draw separators to make sure we don't take up other things' space. Each number has their own space. Okay, so let's take the bigger number and put it on top. So the 157, we take the 100 here in the hundreds place. We got that. We take the 50 here in the tens place. We got that. We take the 7 here in the ones place. Got that. Now we look at the 93. In the hundreds place, do we have anything? No. So we put a 0. In the tens place, we have the 90. And in the ones place, we have a 3. So the 157 gets broken out this way. And if you realize, once again, you add all that up, you get 157. And then the 93 gets broken out this way. And now we do the same thing that we did the first time. 0 times all of these. Then we're going to do 90 times all of these. And then 3 times all of these. Okay? So, we've done the top row. Let's do the middle row. 90 times 100. Wow. This is a big number. But we're going to take our time. Take our time. Right? So, the first thing I want you to do is let's block out all of these zeros. And I'm just going to block out this 0 with this right here. So we're blocking out all these zeros. What's left? 9 times 1. 9 times 1. That is very easy to do compared to what we just looked at. 9 times 1 is just 9. All right? Perfect. Now, how many zeros did we just bring back into the picture? We got 1, we got 2, and we got 3. 3 zeros that we hid. So, let's throw all of them here. 1, 2, 3. There you go. We're going to do the same thing here. 90 times 50. That looks kind of scary. So we're going to hide the zeros. There we go. Hide the zeros. And we're just going to look at 9 times 5. 9 times 5 is a lot easier than 90 times 50. So what's 9 times 5? 45. All right, let's bring our zeros back. How many zeros did we just bring back? We have 1, 2. So we bring 2 zeros here. Perfect. Now we have 90 times 7. So once again, we're going to hide the 0. Hide the 0. 7 times 9. And then we brought back 1 0. Great job. Now let's do the 3. So we're going to do the same thing. Hide the zeros. 3 times 1, 3. And bring back all the zeros. Same thing. 3 times 5, 15. And then bring back all the zeros. And this one doesn't have any zeros. 3 times 7. Now we have our entire block filled out. So now we have to add everything. Okay? So remember, when you add zeros, nothing happens. So we're going to ignore the zeros for right now. But you want to add everything normally. So we're going to start with this 9,000. 9,000. Mark that off. Then we're going to start with 4,500 or 4,500. Then we have the 630. Then we have the 300. Then we have the 150. And then we have the 21. And we're going to add all of these up. So 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 gives us 1. 0 plus 0 plus 3 plus 0 plus 5 plus 2. What's 3 plus 5? 8 plus 2 gives us 10. Get a 0. Carry the 1. 1 plus 5, 6 plus 6 is 12. 12 plus 3 is 15. 15 plus 1 is 16. 16, so we put 6 there, carry the 1. 1 plus 9, 10. 10 plus 4, 14. Our Common Core multiplication has shown us that if you multiply 157 by 93, you're going to get 14,601. Great job, everybody. Great job. Well, that concludes today's session of Tutor Me Senpai, in which we did 6th grade multiplication using Common Core multiplication. If you've had any questions at all and you wrote them down in the middle of the video, write them in the comment section. I'm going to read each and every comment. And if you leave one, I'll make sure I'll write you back. If you have any questions whatsoever and you're confused about anything in this video, go back and watch it again. And take your time. It's not a race. Math needs a lot and a lot and a lot of practice. And you might not get it the first time, second, or even the third. But you will get it. If you keep going and you keep working hard, you will get it. So, if you thought this video was helpful in any way, why don't you leave a like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, but most importantly, like I said, go over it again. And then again, and then again, and again. I'm Courtney, and this is another session of Tutor Me Senpai.